Goddag, I am Tobias and this is my YouTube channel Huskar. This will be the first video in a series of how to make an authentic Viking era round shield. I set out on this project with two goals in my mind. The first one, to make a Viking era shield that would stand up to real Viking era combat, and the second one is to make it out of materials that are historically accurate or that were available historically. The materials I will use in this project is pine planks, hide glue. As you can see here is some hide glue that I have made myself, and here is store-bought hide glue because I can't really be asked to make that much myself. A shield boss that I bought from SPQA shop here in Sweden. Forged nails. A handle made from beech wood that I made myself. This is not finished yet. And also linen fabric and rawhide that I haven't got now, so I will show you that in a later video. So, as you can see, and as I have already said, I have already made the shield corpus, and the first thing you need to do in this kind of project is to figure out what size of shield you need to do. And to me, there are one simple way of calculating how big a shield must be. And that is in relation to actual combat and how tall you are and how long your arms are. Because Viking era fighting was done in a way where if you had a one-handed weapon, you would always cover your striking hand with your shield. And if we have a look at how we would use it, if I adopt a stance where my left foot is forward, I want to be able to strike, and I want to be able to strike so that my weapon is outside of my shield, that I have the reach. If I were to have a shield that was too large, my opponent would be covered by my shield and I would protect him from me, and that is not how you're supposed to fight. And if we do a strike where the right foot is forward, you want a shield to be large enough to cover your striking hand. Because if the shield was too small and my striking hand were to be outside the shield, then my opponent could chop off my hand and that would be game over for me. So I settled on 85 centimeters because 85 centimeters gives me plenty to work with in regards to combat. So the first step is to figure out the size of your shield. The second step is to make the corpus, to glue together the planks and saw them out. And here is the next step that I actually want to show you that may not be something that you know. This type of shield needs to be tapered. It needs to thin out towards the edge. And this has to do with weight distribution. You want the majority of the weight to be centered around your hand to make a lively shield, a fast shield, an agile shield, because the shield will be your defense. And you may have noticed that whenever I speak about Viking era equipment or weapons, I always use words as light, nimble, agile, and that is because every surviving example of Viking era weapons and equipment tells us that their equipment and weapons were light and fast. This stereotype of having clumsy but strong Vikings that lug around 10-kilo swords is simply not historical. So you need to taper your shield to get a good weight distribution and also to reduce weight, because everything you shave off reduces the weight. To do this, I use this little guy. I'm not sure what it is called in English. In Swedish it's a hyvel. And I simply use it to shave off the wood a little bit at a time. So what I am striving after is having a shield that is around 7 millimeters. That is the original thickness of the planks I used. 7 millimeters near the handle, tapering to about 3 to 4 millimeters. In later videos I will show you how to apply a facing of rawhide, a backing of linen, how to use the hide glue, how to get your boss in place, and how to get your handle in place to make your very own authentic Viking era round shield. I hope I'll see you again in the next video. Tack så mycket. Ha en bra dag.